can't give up. You cannot give up. You gotta keep going. And I'm trying to figure out who told you the shit was gonna be easy, because it's not. Things that are truly worth having require work. We live in such a microwavable society where everyone wants it right now. It's like no one wants to put in the work. No one wants to work behind the scenes on themselves. No one wants to work on getting the business started. No one wants to work on anything, but they want it like this, and then get mad when it doesn't happen like this. If things truly happened as quickly as you wanted it, everyone would have it. Everyone would have it, because you don't need any discipline if something happens quickly. Think about all the people in this country who want to lose weight but don't. Think about all the overweight people in this country. Why are they overweight? If you could lose weight so quickly, then why are so many people in the US overweight? Because it's a slow process. It's slow. Losing weight the correct way, by changing what you eat, by exercising, takes patience. Most people don't have it, which is why most people are overweight. Think about that business. Think about the business, not the pretend business that you just talking about because you want to sound cool. No, the real business, the business that's actually generating income, the business that's actually paying all of your bills, the business that is funding the 401k for the future. That business, the real business, if it could really happen quickly, why doesn't everyone have one? Most people don't like their job. Most people want a business. But the reason why most people don't have a real business is because it requires patience. It requires discipline. It requires consistency. Most people don't want it. They don't want to put in the hours. They don't want to show up even when they're not getting the results that they feel like they should get at the time in which they should get them. See, people don't want to talk about that. People want stuff so quick. And if it's not quick, they don't want it. And what they would rather do is sit around and complain about the life that they're living instead of doing something to change it. Yeah, let's talk about it. See, God put something in your spirit. Otherwise, it wouldn't be there. There was a seed that was planted in you to do something great. You have an idea. There's something that you truly want to do. But you keep holding yourself back because every time it gets a little hard, every time it requires a little consistency, anytime it requires just a little bit of effort, you don't want it no more. You want to give up and then complain about the life that you live. Funny. So freaking funny. But that's most people. That's what most people do. Most people aren't willing to wait. Most people aren't willing to show up even when the results haven't hit yet. But you realize that every time you give up, you're not just giving up on the idea. You're not just giving up on the vision. You're giving up on yourself. Yeah, let's talk about it. You're actually giving up on yourself every single time. And when you keep giving up on yourself, you keep chipping away at your confidence. Yeah. How can you believe in someone who's never committing to the promises they make to themselves? Well, subconsciously, that's what you're doing to you. You no longer believe in yourself because every single time it's time to show up for yourself, show up and show out, you go ghost. You give up. You let it go because it required more effort than you thought. And instead of you just riding the wave and laying the foundation brick by brick and working towards something that will literally change your whole life, you would rather give up on it. You don't want to put in the hours. You don't want to cry the tears. You don't want to just keep putting in the work because you know that eventually your breakthrough will hit and the floodgates of heaven will open. You don't want that. You want quick fixes. You want a dopamine hit. You want to feel like you're doing something cool for just a little bit of time so you can feel better about the life that you live instead of actually just pushing through. And I used to live like that too. That's how I know. I had so many business ideas. If you knew me personally in my old life, I had an idea every other week. I never put in the work to see it all the way through. I would put in enough work to start it. I would put in enough work to research it. But when it was actually time to keep the patience, to just keep showing up, even though I'm not seeing the results I want to see right now, I would give up on it. If I couldn't get rich in 2 weeks, I didn't want to do it no more. I was on to the next idea. But I realized that every idea I had wasn't going to go anywhere until I decided to actually see it through. You gotta see it through. You have to see it through. You cannot keep giving up on yourself and thinking that things are gonna get better. Anything worth having requires consistency, discipline, accountability. But you know what the crazy thing about it is? We show that in other parts of our life all the time. Yeah, I had to realize that. I knew how to be accountable, disciplined, and consistent when it came to the job that I hated. You probably do too. You show up on time, you stay late, you work weekends, and you work holidays. Even when you're sick, you still go to work. Even when you're tired, you still go to work. Even when you're not making the money you think you should make. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how these jobs leave us drained, overworked, and underpaid. And even though you don't make the money there that you think you should make, you still go. Consistent, disciplined, accountable. Your family. Even when you're tired, you're still a parent. Even when you're sick, you're still a wife. Even when you're hurting, you're still a husband. You show up for your family, even when you don't feel like it. Let's be real. You're accountable, you're consistent, and you're disciplined. But for some reason, when it comes time for us to do something for us, something that'll make us happy, something that'll finally make us fulfilled, we can't seem to get it right. The minute we don't feel like it, we just don't. The minute we're too tired, we just don't. The minute you don't get the results that you think you should get in the time frame in which you set, you give up. A lot of times we start businesses, but because we're not seeing the money that we think we should see, we give up. But when it comes to that job that you hate, even though they're not going to give you the raise that you think you should get, you still show up. Why is that? Why is that? I don't know. But what I do know is it doesn't have to stay that way. See, you are worth so much than you give yourself credit for. That idea that you have that was planted inside of you, whatever it is, there's a reason why it came to you. It's not random. It's because that's something you should be doing. But until you learn how to push through, You will always continue to sell yourself short, and then you'll wonder why you feel the way you feel. The reason why you're not happy with the life that you're living is because you should be doing something more, but you keep giving up on yourself. You keep giving up on yourself. You want stuff so quick. You don't want to work for it. You don't want to put in the effort. If you're not rich by tomorrow, it's no good. But that job will never make you rich by tomorrow. And you still go. We got to change our mindset. We have to change who we are in order to truly get the results that we want. And see, that's the part that no one wants to talk about. No one wants to hear it. Your life is a direct reflection of all of the choices that you make. And that is by far the hardest pill to swallow. A lot of people don't want to swallow it. They don't want to accept it. To accept that they're to blame for the life they live makes them feel bad about themselves. So they'd rather just complain. But for those of you guys who truly want to change, you don't want to keep living like that no more. There's something inside of you that knows you're worth more and you want to do better. Then I want to invite you to my Glow Up Academy. This is the space where you do change. In order for you to build the business of your dreams and see the results that you've always dreamed of, it's going to require you to change who you are. It's going to require you to become consistent, to become accountable, and to become disciplined in your goals. You prove it to yourself every day you have those qualities in you because you have it in other parts of your life. Now it's time to lock in and have it when it comes to you. Click the link down in my description and join my Glow Up Academy. Let me teach you how to believe in yourself so you can finally make the money that you want to make and build the business that you've always dreamed of. I'll see you in there. Bye.